Welcome to Strato. This is my first Android game that I've ever placed on the market, and I'll show you how to play it. So, the way it works is you're not dragging where you want to turn. You have the left side of the screen, and if you drag up and down, it will control the left aileron. And you can see that little control surface flapping up and down. If you drag on the right-hand side of the screen, it will also control the right-hand aileron. So if you drag both ailerons down, you can pull up and you can make a loop. And if you push down, it'll do that as well. Now listen, you'll probably want to have some headphones in, or at least have your sound going, because you'll notice that your airspeed is indicated by the particles whizzing by, the sound of the wind whistling, the paper rippling. Little audio cues will tell you how fast you're traveling. And how fast you're traveling is very important, because if you're not traveling very fast at all, for instance, if I go flying straight up into the sky, I lose all my airspeed, and then eventually my control surfaces don't do anything to help me out. Another thing that's very important is that on the display, you'll see that there's an orange ring, which shows the orientation of your ship. But the white ring is especially important, that it is showing you the orientation of the ground. This means that if your orange ring matches up with your white ring, then it means that you'll be flying level. Another thing is that if you pull the ailerons in opposite directions, you'll do a barrel roll, but it does cost you some speed, and of course you do lose some control when you do that. Another thing that's important is that if you pull sideways, if you pull left on the left side of the screen, you'll engage the left air brake. And if you pull right on the right side of the screen, you'll engage the right air brake. So using air brakes is necessary for controlling your speed. If you need to suddenly slow down, you can jam on both brakes by pulling left and right with both thumbs and slow down rapidly. Another thing you probably notice that I'm doing is I'm doing this up and down swooping motion. Doing this swooping, your plane actually picks up a little bit of velocity whenever you're performing an upward pull or a downward pull. You can kind of think of this as the equivalent of bunny hopping in an FPS, but in this case it's for a flight sim. So if you find that you're moving really slowly, if you need to gain a lot of speed, treat it like swimming and just do this kind of swimming up and down motion. Alright, so I'll show you the actual game itself. So, in Strato, your job is to collect the rings and try and collect as many rings as you can without actually crashing. But the other thing about Strato that's very important to note is that you can touch the walls and keep on playing. The game only considers it a game over if you actually beach your plane. And beaching is calculated, beaching occurs whenever you slam into the floor and you hit. If you're hitting a surface many times over and you're not really moving very fast, like lots and lots of low-speed collisions, it counts that as being beached. The game is very forgiving in terms of when it counts being beached, but once you've beached your craft, well, here, I'll beach it right now and you'll see what happens. Bam. And it will reset the map and reset your score. And the idea is try to avoid being beached and see how high a high score you can get. So that's pretty much all there is to Strato. For that, probably lots and lots of harrowing moments. But don't be afraid to experiment. The game will not berate you for failing. It'll just throw you back in the saddle. And like everything, the more you practice, the better you get. Another thing that I should probably mention is that fast turns are possible with either the air brakes at the expense of speed, but if you want to make a rapid turn without sacrificing your speed, bank, then pull up, or bank, but that itself has its own little risks. So my high score at the time of recording this video is 54. My best friend's high score is 117, I think. So see if you can beat our scores and enjoy playing Strato. And if it does well enough on the Android market, maybe the BlackBerry market, then have enough to pay for a Steam Greenlight. We'll put it on there, and maybe we'll see it on the PC with an Xbox controller for it. And until then, I'll probably be adding additional game modes and features. So thanks for following the progress of Strato, and I hope to see this game get bigger and bigger. Maybe with new aircraft types and play modes, and make it so that if you do like barrel rolls and loop-de-loops, it'll add to a score multiplier. Maybe make a mode where like the walls are constantly closing in, you have to grab rings to push the walls back. And, lots of little ideas that I have, and if you have an idea for a game mode, I'll try and implement it in the game. So yeah, thanks for watching this little tutorial on Strato, and take care.